Everybody ready? So let me start out by saying that we issued a statement. I believe it was the day after Jonathan Joss's murder. That was way premature. Shouldn't have done it. It was way too soon before we had any real information, and I will own that and simply say again that we shouldn't have done that. It was way too early in the process for any statement of that nature to be issued. Having said that, I want to update you on the ongoing investigation as far as I can talk about it. I'm not going to go over the details. I think everybody's already aware of them. The report's been released. We understand that many in the LGBTQ plus community are feeling anxious and concerned. A lot of it has to do with that premature statement that we released, and again, I own that. Shouldn't have done it. The loss of Jonathan Joss was tragic and most heavily felt by the LGBTQ plus community. There's also concern about the circumstances surrounding that death and the history in the neighborhood leading up to that. One of the most common questions that we've received is why this case isn't being charged as a hate crime at this point. Why didn't SAPD charge him with the murder and a hate crime? In Texas, hate crimes are not separate charges. Instead, they are addressed through sentencing enhancements. So, for example, if someone's arrested for a Class B misdemeanor and a hate crime designation attaches to that charge, then that Class B misdemeanor is elevated to a Class A misdemeanor. And if a second-degree felony is eventually designated as a hate crime, then that would bump up to a first-degree felony. So that's how that works. We don't charge with hate crimes. We gather the facts, and we give those facts to the district attorney's office, and then that hate crime designation is determined at sentencing. But we don't charge hate crime. Our homicide detectives are continuing to pursue every lead in this case to ensure that we understand the full picture of what led up to the senseless murder of Mr. Joss. We're committed to delivering a thorough and complete investigation to file with the district attorney's office for prosecution. We're also working closely with the San Antonio Fire Department arson investigators to better understand the fire connected in this case. That was back in January. That part of the investigation is still active, and we'll share more once we have additional information that we can verify. We've also seen concerns about the volume of calls to Mr. Joss's residence. There are approximately 70 calls over the past 2 years involving various neighborhood-type disturbances. Sometimes he was the caller. Other times the neighbors were calling on him. Our SAFE unit and our mental health units had extensive engagements with Mr. Joss, making repeated efforts to mediate conflicts and connect him with services that he may have needed. At this time, the investigation remains active, and we need to be cautious about not releasing too much information that could negatively affect the upcoming legal process. And finally, to our LGBTQ plus community, as we observe Pride Month, Please know that your safety and trust matter deeply to us. Please join us tonight for a community forum that we are hosting at With Pride San Antonio at 6 p.m. at the Woodlawn Point Center at 702 Donaldson to listen and to connect with your SAPD Police Department. That's all I have. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but I am not going to get into the details, any of the details of the ongoing investigations. I met with the lead investigator and the homicide captain yesterday, and I'm satisfied as to the progress that they're making in this investigation right now.
Is there any evidence that Joss's sexuality played a role in his murder?
I just said that we are investigating that. So,
you have to ask.
What, pardon?
I just have to ask.
Okay, I just said that is part of the investigation, and whatever we find out in that regard, we will turn that information over as part of the package to the district attorney's office. Okay?
Do you think the suspect in this murder is involved with the fire in January?
Say again?
Do you have any reason to believe that the suspect in this murder was involved in that fire from January?
I'm not going to speculate on that. Again, it's still under investigation. We spoke with arson investigators who are still actively investigating that case. Okay? All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate it.